What are common cooking tips most people get wrong? There are a lot of common cooking tips people get wrong in the kitchen at home and even in some restaurants. We've been told over and over again that these things are law. We've heard it repeated by every television chef. Read about in every recipe blog. Gushed over it when it appears on our favorite restaurant menu. Well, I'm going to tell you which kitchen tips are often wrong and don't always guarantee a better or more delicious product. Here are a few kitchen rules you can probably start breaking in the kitchen today. Braising meats overnight, all day, or forever. There comes a point where too much is just simply too much. For the love of braises, please stop cooking everything for so long. If you braise something long enough you will eventually dry it out. You're not wrong assuming that a braise does improve certain foods with time. Time is the reason why a tough, fibrous hunk of chuck roast becomes forked tender bites of glistening beef. Time can also turn it into a lifeless thread caught between your teeth. Thinking about it makes me want to grab my floss. There's a sweet spot in braising where the meat becomes supple, not soft. That's the point in which that braise has hit its peak. Everything after that is just downhill. Braising is thought of as a set-it-and-forget type of kitchen technique. A passive form of cooking. I pay careful attention to my braises. Looking for that sweet spot. When I've found it, I just know it. It's the kind of flavor that makes you clasp your fork to your chest and fall to the floor in awe. Learn to find that sweet spot when you braise. And braise just until that point. It's the most satisfying taste you'll ever experience. Searing on high too, and please, do this in air quotes for me, lock in the juices. You can't lock in juices by searing anything. Searing is good for one thing and one thing only, browning. Searing turns foods brown, which we all know by now to mean flavor. It's what makes a roast more delicious before you pop it in the oven to finish cooking. It's what makes a griddle smashed burger patty so damn delicate. It's what makes searing scallops go from blah to umami. Browning stuff makes food real tasty. One thing it does not do? It does not create a seal and lock in any juices. The one thing that can do that is battering an ingredient. Battering creates a seal around an ingredient. When you're frying anything with a batter, you're actually cooking it with steam. The escaping juices and moisture from the ingredient heats and turn into steam, cooking whatever you have battered and are frying from the inside out. Battering can lock in juices. You want to know the real secret for locking in juices? Don't overcook your food. Use high-quality, premium, whole paycheck ingredients. We all quickly learn that you can't live life in the drive-through lane. At some point we answer the call to arms, pick up a kitchen knife and learn to wield it. Cooking is a survival skill. What it shouldn't be is the source of your financial ruin. You don't need to bust out the good vanilla for every single dessert recipe. It's okay to use an economy ingredient. If you're making a dish and that ingredient isn't the star, your dish can still turn out great without springing for the best of everything. A great example is with Parmesan cheese. If you're making a simple butter and cheese pasta, a Parmigiano Reggiano can make all the difference here. That makes sense because you're eating this dish for the cheese. Making meatballs and need some Parmesan cheese to lend an interesting salty dimension? A generic, domestic variety will be just fine. No need to roll out the red carpet there. There's always going to be a dish and recipe that's appropriate for a top-shelf ingredient. You'll learn that through experience over time. Until then, focus on improving your cooking technique. You'll get a lot more flavor out of an ingredient cooking it properly than paying for it. Quality ingredients don't make a quality chef. Seasoning with salt and pepper. This may surprise some of you, but you do not need to reach for the black pepper every time you reach for the salt. They are allowed to act independently of each other. Pepper is not a flavor enhancer like salt is. Salt makes food taste more like itself. It brings out flavor. Pepper makes food taste more like pepper. It doesn't enhance the flavor of anything, it changes it. The more of it you use, the spicier, grittier your food will begin to taste. That's great in a buttermilk dressing rich with fresh herbs, but not a hollandaise where that flavor would be distracting. Try replacing black pepper with white pepper in some of your favorite recipes. When I'm making a delicate cream sauce or soup where I want some of the flavor of pepper without taking away from the dish, white pepper is my choice. Every once in a while, I'll leave pepper out of a dish completely. Like when I make mashed potatoes. I want my mashed potatoes to taste like one thing, pure, unadulterated dairy fat. Mashed potatoes is just a vehicle to carry the rich flavors of butter and cream. Season it well with salt and that's all you need. I'm not letting a single peppercorn get in the way of one of my all-time guilty pleasures. Another place pepper doesn't go near for me? Flaky, delicate, white fish. Go ahead and play around with this. Try leaving pepper out of a few things and see how you like it. You'll never look at a recipe the same way again. Making everything from scratch. That one is going to be hard to swallow. But keep chewing and hear me out. Making everything from scratch isn't the secret to all amazing cooking. Here's a common example, dried pasta versus fresh pasta. Dried pasta is not a sin. There are so many pasta dishes where using a store-bought, dried pasta for its toothsome al dente is better than the delicate and tender texture of a freshly made pasta. I like making my lasagna with dried pasta sheets, but I insist on whipping out my pasta maker to make ribbons of pappardelle to accompany a ragu bolognese. Making everything from scratch doesn't guarantee an amazing dish in the end. Especially if you don't have access to the right tools, ingredients and technique as someone else might. Some ingredients are better left to the professionals. Most dishes will be better because of it. There's plenty of laws of the kitchen that I swear by and will insist you should, too. Tasting as you go? Always. Bring your pasta water to a roiling boil? A must. Resting your meats before carving? Don't be an animal. A good chef knows which rules you must follow and which you can bend. A great chef, however, can bend the rules you think you have to follow to delicious and surprising results.